And hi, it's Maureen Muldoon, and we are on lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved, of the workbook lessons of A Course in Miracles. So a problem cannot be solved if you do not know what it is. Even if it is really solved already, you'll still have the problem because you will not recognize that it's been solved. This is the situation of the world. The problem of separation, which is really the only problem, has already been solved, yet the solution is not recognized because the problem is not recognized. So the problem is that we've fallen asleep to the fact that there is no problem. There's no problem. All problems lead to the idea, perceived problems lead to the idea that there's some sort of separation that's happened. Separation is impossible. So the only solution, which has already taken place, is that nothing has happened. It's kind of loopy, but we'll stick to the course and we'll see what else happens in this lesson. Everyone in this world seems to have his own special problems, yet they're all the same and must be recognized as one if the one solution that solves them all is to be accepted. Who can see that a problem has been solved if he thinks the problem is something else? Even if he's given the answer, he cannot see its relevance. So you see, they're saying we all have one problem, and that problem is separation, is the illusion of separation. This is the position in which you find yourself now. You have the answer, but you're still uncertain about what the problem is. A long series of different problems seem to confront you, and as one is settled, the next one and the next one arise. There seems to be no end to them. There's no time in which you feel completely free of problems and at peace. So it's like we're jumping from lily pad of problem to lily pad of problem, and this is what we think of as normal. This isn't normal. It certainly isn't natural. The temptation to regard problems as many as the temptation to keep the problems of separation unsolved. The world seems to present to you with a vast number of problems, which each requires a different answer. This perception places you in a position in which your problem solving must be inadequate, and failure is inevitable. No one can solve all the problems the world appears to hold. They seem to be on so many levels, in such varying forms, and with such various content that they confront you with an impossible situation. Dismay and depression are inevitable as you regard them. Some spring up unexpectedly, just as you think you've resolved the previous ones. Others remain unsolved under a cloud of denial and rise to haunt you from time to time, only to hide again, but still unsolved. All this complexity is but a desperate attempt not to recognize the problem and therefore not to let it be solved. If you could recognize that your only problem is separation, no matter what form it takes, you could accept the answer because you would see its relevance. Perceiving the underlying consistency in all problems that seem to confront you, you would understand that you have the means to solve them all, and you would use the means because you recognize the problem. So one of my first jobs that I got as a spiritual practitioner was to work for a World Ministry of Prayer, and I loved that job. And it was when I was in California, and how it would work was World Ministry of Prayer would hook me up to their system, and then I would just sit in my house and I would get call after call from people all over the world asking for prayer. And what I noticed was that the only prayer I needed to tell them, I had to give them a specific prayer made just for them, which is affirmative prayer. But the underlying thing that they were all asking for, that the underlying problem that they were all seeking a solution around, was the idea of, I am afraid and I feel all alone. I am afraid and I feel all alone. When you get to the core of I'm afraid and I feel all alone, the content of that is simply separation. That's what separation feels like. Feeling afraid and feeling alone. So the only prayer I had to give to them was to remind them, God is all there is. You've never left God. You're good. And this situation, be it health, finances, relationships, or blah, 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 is healed as you believe it's healed in God, because God knows no dis-ease, no debt, no doubt, no dissatisfaction. So it was interesting that I really got to experience the truth of this lesson, which there's only one problem and there's only one solution. My one problem is I forgot that God loves me and that I am so well cared for, and the one solution is to wake up to that. In our longer practice periods today, we'll ask, what's the problem? We'll ask, what is the problem, and what is the answer to it? We will not assume that we already know. We will try to free our minds of all the many different kinds of problems we think we have. We'll try to recognize that we have only one problem, which we have failed to recognize. We'll ask what it is and wait for the answer, and we will be told. And then we'll ask for the solution to it, and we will be told. The exercises for today will be successful to the extent to which you do not insist on defining the problem. Perhaps you will not succeed in letting all your preconceived notions go, but that is not necessary. All that is necessary is to entertain some doubt about the reality of your version of what your problems are. Isn't that great? So it's saying, like, gosh, it's so generous. It's like you don't even have to let go of all your problems. All you have to do is raise them to doubt, raise them to light, and you'll have some doubt about your problems. Byron Katie says, ask, is this true? Is this really true? And as soon as we start to ask, is this true? That's how we raise it to doubt. If your problem is I'm broke, if your problem is I'm unlovable, if your problem is I'm lonely, question that. Is that true? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And if it is true, bring it to the Holy Spirit. And apparently, according to today's lessons, you're going to get your directions and your solutions. So, bingo. It says you're trying to recognize that you have been, I think I read that. You're trying to recognize that you have been given the answer by recognizing the problem, so that the problem and the answer can be brought together and you can be at peace. The shorter practice periods for today will not be set by time, but by need. You will see many problems today, each one calling for an answer. Our efforts will be directed towards recognizing that there is only one problem and one answer. In this recognition are all problems solved. In this recognition there is peace. Be not deceived by the form of the problem today. Wherever any difficulty seems to arise, tell yourself quickly, let me recognize this problem so it can be solved. And then try to suspend all the judgment about what this problem is. If possible, close your eyes for a moment and ask what it is. You'll be heard and you will be answered. That is a lovely lesson. That's a great lesson. And I hope it was helpful for you to hear it. And the only thing I have to add to it is that we are so addicted to romancing the problem. It's like we think the problem makes us important, or makes us alive, or makes us vital, or makes us, whatever it is that we get from the problem. But really, the only thing that we get from the problem is we get to chase our tail and end up on a hamster wheel to nowhere. We just get to regurgitate the same old problem, like Henny Penny, the sky is falling, and never actually get a solution, because as long as our mind is filled with the problem, there's no room for the solution. This lesson is telling us to make a little room for some solution, and the solution will arise. So this is the good news. You don't have to check the stars. You don't have to call your friends. You don't have to go to your therapist. The only thing you need to do is to go into your internal teacher, and your internal teacher has all the answers for you. And did I not just save you a whole bucket of time? You are welcome. God bless. Have a great day.